Hey guys, DePaulo here. Today's video is going to be on what a full day of thrifting looks like. I did a video last week that was a 4-hour day. That was a local thrifting day. That's what my normal day looks like, but every other week I take a bigger trip. I go down to the city. It's about an hour and a half away to hit my first store. And it's a full day. I hit between 8 and 10 different stores, load up with, usually right around 125 items. So I'm going to show you what the day of a thrifter looks like when it is a full day. I'm leaving right now at 8 o'clock, just dropped my son off at school. We'll see how long today is and we'll see how many items I get. Thanks. Alright, so my day of thrifting is beginning right now. Took me about an hour and 15 minutes to get here. So this is my first stop of the day. I'll show you what I get here in a little bit. Alright, so just left my first store of the day. Ended up being okay. I bought 16 items, spent, let's see, 91 items. So here, if you want, this is what the back of the vehicle looks like after the first store. We've got probably 8 or 9 more stores to go, and you will see what a full day of thrifting looks like by the end of the day. All right, so just made it to my second store, ready to go in. Whenever I go into a store, I try to have a bit of a game plan. The last store that I went to, I know that I always do good with shoes there. This particular store is kind of a mismatch. Sometimes I have good luck in the shoe section, sometimes I have luck in the electronics section, sometimes women's. Over time you really get to know your stores. This one, I have been here many times, and every time is a little bit different, so kind of curious to see what I end up with. All right, so just got done with my second store. I was in there for about an hour. Spent $94.50. I got 16 items. Now, the cool thing about this store is you never know what you're gonna get, and today was just like that. Ended up hitting a home run in there. I found 3 prints, actually lithographs, signed. You can see them here. Paid $18 a piece minus my 20% off. Famous artist, Native American artist. Last one of this first one, this one there, sold for $500. It was number 85 or 87 out of the 100 prints they made. This is the number 3 print, so this is the more desirable one. The other 2, number 3s. Yeah, all 3 of them are number 3s out of 100 edition lithographs. So $500 a piece all day long. Very cool. All right, off to number 3. This is a store that, again, I hit this one on a pretty regular basis and hit or miss. So last store was a huge hit with those 3 lithographs. We'll just see how this one goes. All right, store number 3 complete. Wasn't great, got 10 items, spent $46, so not too much, but as you can see, starting to fill up a little bit. Off to the next. All right, so the full day of a thrifter can be tiring, but I do this full day thing once every other week. Again, I started at 8. Right now it is 1:35. I am at my 4th store, trying to hit probably 8 to 10 stores today. So this store is not known as one of my better ones, so I'll get in there. Hopefully I can get at least 10 items today. All right, so I believe that was store number 4. Ended up with 11 items, spent $46 on those 11 items, so not too bad. I was hoping to get at least 10, so I did hit that. Now today is dollar day, so there's a lot of items that are $1. When I'm looking at purchasing something that is only $1, it has to be something that I know that I can sale price out at $12.99. So it has to be something that I can start out at $16.99, be able to take an offer. Otherwise, everything else I buy, I really try to make sure that I have at least $20 profit built in from the very beginning. So that's kind of the strategy that I use for the most part. It's a sliding scale, really. Really depends on the item. There's an item that I know is popular that I'm only going to make 12, 15 bucks off of. I'll still step up and buy it if I know that it will sell pretty quickly. Whew! All right, we are at store number 5. Let's see, I'm at 32, 42, 50, about 53 items so far. I'm trying to get over 100, and I want to start heading back home here in the next couple hours. So let's hope that I can get a lot more than 10 or 11 items at this store. We'll see. All right, so that was a bit of a struggle. Ended up with 10 items. Took me a while to find those 10 items, and I had to change my strategy. I usually look for the bigger items first while there was no high ticket items to be found. So I started looking for the dollar items that I could sell in that $12 to $16 range. So that was the majority of the 10 items that I found. So I still have some more stops to do. One thing that's always important, always have a good attitude, because there will be a store that is your honey hole. Every time it happens. Sometimes the very last store of the day ends up being that store. So my fingers are crossed. All right, so I had to take a little detour, some bad traffic. There was an accident, so I ended up at a store I was not planning to come to today. So I guess I'll find out if maybe it was meant to be. Only one way to find out. Okay, so 8 items, $52. Things in that store are a lot more expensive than what I typically pay for stuff, but I did look for a while and I found a couple pretty good items. I think out of 52, 48, I should have at least 250 bucks out of it. So anyways, the detour ended up okay, not great, but okay. All right, so stop number 7 only produced 6 items. So as the day goes on, the day of a thrifter, a full day, you start to get tired, and your mind doesn't see quite as well the things that you're trying to accomplish. So I did stop. I got a couple tacos, so I'm re-energized at 6 o'clock. I need to push through for probably 2 more stores to reach the number I'm trying to hit. Then I can finally make it back home. All right, my long day thrifting is coming to a close. As you can see, it's dark out. Anyways, store number 8, 21 products, most that I got out of any store. So like I said earlier, you have to have a good attitude and wait for the right store to pop up, because eventually it will happen. Anyways, it is 7:20 right now. I've got an hour and a half drive home. I might stop at one more store, but not quite sure. All right, so I made it home last night at about 10. So it was a 14-hour day, real long day. I've been spending the day today just relaxing. Been watching some TV and just chilling. Did my numbers. I did take all of the inventory that I purchased, which ended up being 110 items, and I stopped at 9 different stores. I did a little bit of research on the lithographs. They could be worth up to 800 bucks a piece, so I did really good with those, very desirable. So it isn't something that I'm going to sit on for, years, but something that should sell in a fairly quickly. We'll see. But for my numbers, I did the very basic $1,000 for the 3 of them, even though they should make a lot more. So the total profit that I'm looking at is between $3,500 and about $4,500, depending on how much I get for the lithograph. So I'm going to say $3,500. I spent 500 bucks. So I've got over $3,000 in profit for one, long day of work. It will take about 3 days to get all of this stuff listed. My boys will do most of the listing, and I will, specialize on some of the more difficult things to list. But overall, very successful day, $3,000 for 1 day's work. And long day, but as you can see, it is worth it. All right, so this is what a full day's haul looks like. I got a bucket full of shoes and boots. Got some golf equipment, some toys down here. Those are the lithographs, which I'm really excited about. We are going out of the winter season, but if you can find some winter jackets that are, very desirable, you buy them. Those I might have to wait before I get the big money for them, but there's money to be made. I found a quilt here, which is a wedding quilt. Last one I sold for 150 bucks. That one's not as nice. Got some jerseys, shirts, lots of shirts, some jackets and pants. So that is what a 14-hour haul worth about $3,000 in profit looks like. Well, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I do hope that you found some value in it. As you can see, a full day of a thrifter can be a bit exhausting, but between $3,000 and $4,000 profit, well worth it. Anyways, please comment and subscribe, and hope to be reading your comment soon. Thanks.